So hello everyone to a meeting. So what we're talking about, this is non-duality. It's not a thing, but let's just call it something. Let's call it non-duality. That's what we're talking about. And it boils down basically to two ideas. Of course, the idea isn't the reality that we're pointing to, but as a starting point, I'll present two basic ideas that we're going to discuss, and then we can go into it more deeply, if you like. And the ideas are actually quite unexpected. So it might not actually make sense, and that's neither good nor bad, but in the end, they don't make sense as far as experientially knowing what's being said, because it's not an experience. But it seems fairly clear that we can say what isn't true and impossible to say what is, which of course is utterly dissatisfying for the person, for the individual that's looking for something. So that's a good start, because the individual that's looking for something is an illusion. The individual is the experience that I was born, I have a life, I am living, and the result of my life is what's happening now, and that this happening is about me. It's basically all about me. That's an illusion. This isn't actually about anything. Like literally, it's not about anything. It simply is what it is, and that can't be said. And so the second bit is that this, which is as it is actually nothing. It's actually no thing appearing. Now that doesn't make sense. I understand that. It's not in anyone's experience. It's not in this experience either. It's just when that experience of the individuality apparently stops, what's revealed is the appearance is nothing. It's no thing appearing. So the whole thing is about nothing. Much ado about nothing. So in the meeting, we're not going this isn't going in. The appearance isn't going anywhere. It's only the illusory experience of separation that says it needs to go somewhere it isn't. It's already everything. This that's happening is everything. It's no thing appearing as what's happening. Yeah, those are two basic ideas. We can go deeper into it and everything, but basically I think that's a good place to start with those two ideas. There's no one, and the appearance is nothing. Actually, we can now go have dinner. I mean, I think it's sort of over, isn't it? We've sort of done it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's some hands up. Why don't we start and see what happens? Heidi's had her hand up even before we started, so maybe we'll start with Heidi.
Yes, we will.
Good. Hey Heidi, if you meant to have your hand up, then please unmute yourself. Maybe she didn't mean to. Good. Then we'll go. Who was next up?
Ciaran.
Good. Good. Let's go to Claren. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey.
This is Kieran here.
Kieran.
Hey there.
I heard you say something at the earlier session that I thought might give me a little grip. Unlikely.
Yeah. Unlikely. Yeah.
But you mentioned a difference between the apparent and the illusion, and in two specific cases where the illusion was. But what is the difference from your perspective?
Yeah. So the apparent is what's arising. Everything that appears is apparent. And apparent means it's not real. It appears, but it has no reality. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing in it. It's not coming from anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It just appears. And that is all inclusive. That's without beginning or end. It's limitless. The apparent is limitless. has no borders. So there's no way to get a hold of it, because getting a hold of it is also it. There's no outside. The illusion is that what's happening is not apparent, it's real. And that illusion arises with the experience of separation. And the appearance is never real, and there is never a separation. So it's an illusion. It's an illusion out of which in which the individual feels it needs to free itself. And that, yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So in relation to that, you sometimes refer to there being a body. There is a body, I've heard you say. What does that mean from your perspective?
That's an appearance. It's just part of the appearance. A body, a microphone, a computer screen. It's just the appearance.
But the body, seen from what I understand from you, from your perspective, is more real than the illusion of separation.
Oh, well, the illusion of separation is not real. It never happens. It's an illusion. The body apparently happens.
But an illusion can be a real illusion, can it not?
Well, that's the experience, yeah. Yeah, but it's less real than normal illusions, because an illusion, when that ends, you could say, oh, that was an illusion. One fundamental part of the experience of separation is when that ends, it's recognized never to have happened. So it doesn't actually end. It's recognized that it never actually happened.
So from what I understand it, at least basically, everything that we experience happens in the mind. We're not experiencing physicality in any way. I understand this is all not real, but like all we ever see of reality is in our own mind. We don't have any experience of anything else.
Yeah. Yep. Or the brain.
But the brain is like an image in our mind that connects to whatever the brain is, if there is a brain. Like it's an icon on a desktop. Like you know, and I'm not talking about non-dualism here. I'm talking about in the apparent happening or unfolding. There have been 4.5 billion years of evolution, and people like Donald Hoffman will say that what we're seeing is not real. It's just what we've compressed the information to make sense for us. Fitness speaks truth. This is argument. I know you, but in that sense, what you're saying is there is no, even within the apparent happening or unfolding, there's no structure, even if it is. But if there is a brain, structure. But if there is do you think there is a mind?
I don't know what that means. I mean, for me, when people say mind, I think what they're talking about is thoughts. And if we talk about, and when you talk about, you know, neuroscience, and that the brain is that which images or receives everything, then actually, you know, scientifically, we're talking about a brain. The brain does that.
But the brain is only one image amongst thousands in our mind. Okay, absolutely. You don't.
I don't mind. We can talk about. We can use mind if you like.
Okay. My understanding of mind, or body mind, is it's, you know, feelings, emotions, sensations, all of these things are experienced through this, which, well, look, that's another thing. But if it is, if everything is, even within the apparent unfolding, is presented to each individual, although there are no individuals, but each, say, body mind, in the mind, how can we even talk about brains, or, you know, like, we don't know, we have no, from my perspective anyway, and I'm, you know, I'm not knowledgeable on these things, but I don't see any experience of matter in our experience if everything is happening in our individual minds.
Yeah.
So in that situation, what I'm not understanding from what you're presenting is, how can there be a body, even if it is in the apparent unfolding, if it's all in the mind of the apparent unfolding, or the individual minds of the apparent unfolding?
So you suggest that everything's in the mind, and then you ask, how can everything be in the mind? Well, you would know the answer to that because you made the suggestion.
What did remind me of what I said? Sorry, I said
that everything's in the mind, and then you ask, how can everything just be in the mind? And I wouldn't go down that logical way. I wouldn't say that there's an experience because there's no experiencer. I wouldn't say that there's all these different realities in the mind and that this mind is having a different one than others. All of that is an experience in separation and trying to understand the appearance. The message is that all there is what arises, and that is no thing arising. If you begin to differentiate and try to work it out, you get into a story about the appearance. And there is no explanation for this. An explanation is just an explanation. It doesn't explain this.
But the arising is arising in the mind.
I hear you say that. And when you do that, you will have to come up with an explanation about it. If it's arising and not scientifically in the mind, if there's no position for it, then it's simply arising and requires no explanation.
Okay, well, we had a chat about this before on the phone, and I was trying to get my head around it then. But I suppose I'm trying to figure out where, even when you refer to all these things happening and there may be a mind, but my only first experience, this is from my perspective, obviously.
Totally.
But my only first experience is mind.
I understand what you're saying.
And my understanding of that, I'm not going to get into the previous because we had a discussion about this, but my understanding is that, let's call it the arising, happens through the mind, and the mind filters most of what we either perceive, or in that we have 5 senses, you know what they are. Everything is presented into the mind, and I shouldn't even be pointing to my head because my head. And then there are 2 other filters, space-time, and they filter infinity into space and eternity into time. So mind for me is like a headset, basically, a very complicated headset, but still just a headset. So I'm trying to figure out, I suppose I'm trying to figure out where the body, if it is, or what is the actual arising or unfolding, is only happening in the individual mind from my perspective.
Exactly. That's the dream.
Okay.
Because what happens then, the story of the individual is, I have this mind and it's happening here, but there's 7 billion other minds and those are the other things happening. And then you need an explanation about how it all works, because what you are then, you're in the story of separation, and the separation demands understanding or knowing. The message is, the first presupposition that you have a mind is an illusion. There isn't a you.
I thought I did understand it because I started listening to you, of course.
Oh dear.
What I thought I did understand was, this is a rough analogy, but it's the one that makes sense for me, is, and this is what we spoke about, the previous knowing or consciousness or awareness. And in the model I had, there is consciousness.
Yeah.
You know, we can't put an image on these things, but I'm trying to put an image on it to explain what I see. It's just light, light with potential, energy, light with potential. And then there is a sphere somehow there, and that sphere has a lot of different holes in it. And the light will flow through those holes And as the light flows to those holes, the contraction is the individual, but the
Yeah.
whole is the one. So
Right.
it's a, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's not what's being said here.
No, I know. That's why
Oh,
I'm
okay,
curious.
okay. And what's
Curious.
interesting
No.
is it totally, what you say totally sort of confirms the message, because you say there's consciousness and then there's the explanation about it all. Because really consciousness is the beginning of separation. It's part of the illusion. And as long as there's the experience of separation, there will be, as we said, the need to know, the need to explain, the need to understand. Because that need is actually an effort to overcome or find enough to no longer to need to know. Of course, that never happens.
But how is consciousness the beginning of separation? Consciousness.
Well, consciousness is separation itself. Consciousness is a form of knowing.
Okay, if consciousness is only the unfolding, it's a form of separation. But if it's previous to the unfolding, it separates in the unfolding.
Yeah.
But it's one. Everything is happening in consciousness.
Yeah, I know. That's a lovely story, because then consciousness is then God. And it all makes sense. And somebody's in charge, and even if we don't realize it, it'll all be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would be wary of the word God.
I know. But that's sort of, when you talk about consciousness the way you did, that's sort of what can be realized is, I am the consciousness in which everything happens. I am God. Da, da, da. That's just a story.
The I part of it is only that it's non-dual. That's the only thing that the I is saying, that it's just one, and you're just a contraction, an individual contraction of that one. But I appreciate what you're saying. as I said to you on the phone, I have only ever had one real experience, and that was being aware. Now you explained to me, you were also there, and then you had the other falling away, because I've already had a falling away, but like Ray Norton would say, falling away experiences are like children are farts. They're only interesting if they're your own.
Yeah.
But you seem to have an apparent falling away incident, which dissolved even that illusion of consciousness.
Yeah. And I didn't have it. Yeah. It's actually the ending of something that isn't happening. So the idea of the individual is that it's on a journey to find, let's say at this meeting, I'm just suggesting, not everybody might be doing this, but somebody might be listening to this with the intention of hearing something that's going to help them, because they have the sense that they're on a journey going somewhere. Whereas the message is, if the falling away happens, what's revealed is this is everything. And that's not a story. That isn't the result of falling away. The falling away is a story. So anything that the individual is waiting for something to happen in the future, it never does happen in the future. If it falls away, this is it. This is everything. And so any realization or glimpse becomes just part of the story, or revealed to be this, which is really what happens. All of those glimpses are just this. They're not in the past. You don't know what happened. Nobody does.
Oh, I appreciate that there's no past or future. I appreciate that the
well,
mind...
there's apparent past and future, but the glimpse is not a part of that.
Apparent.
It's put in that context, and then it seems to be understood. Whereas nobody understands a glimpse, like nobody understands this. You can't hold on to it. You can't hold on to this.
No, and I'm not really interested in this stuff because I'm not looking for any peace or anything, but I'm very interested in the consciousness only model, or what is objective reality.
There's no objective
so
reality.
I was just trying to get, I understand that you would say that, but I'm just trying to get but the most I ever got from you, Jim, was a solid knowing, and I don't think I'm going to get any more than that.
Yeah, that's what me wants.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Susie.
Hey, it's Susie in Connecticut.
Hey, Connecticut.
If there's no one, no I, no you, especially in animals, I've heard you say that, you know, there's no I in animals, then I may have asked you this before, but I don't really think that I digested the answer. When it comes to grief, what are they, animals or we? What are or who are we all grieving if there's no
loss?
Dies. What are we
loss?
Grieving? No
Loss.
Loss. Loss of someone that we love, though, right?
Well, love arises, but not for anyone. Just like grief can arise, not for anyone.
So animals, when they grieve, are just grieving the feeling of loss.
Yeah, yeah. Like my cat, like the cows next door.
Right.
You know, milk cows. This is, I probably said this last time. When we talk about animals and I talk about the cows next door because they they totally grieve the loss of their calves. They have to take the calves away so that they can get the milk. And the cow will then cry for a day or so.
But when somebody I don't know dies, I don't grieve.
Yeah, yeah.
So clearly it's more than just loss because I'm grieving a specific.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there isn't a loss for someone that isn't in your purview, but there's a loss for somebody who is. The body gets used to people. It has energy for certain people more or less than others. That's why we fall in love with some people and not in other people, and why we like some people and not some other people.
Right.
But it doesn't require an individual for that to happen.
It's more a feeling, you're saying, an energy, a connection that transcends.
It's what happens.
It's what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm still confused on your perspective then on death and why we fear it, why we resist it, why we fight to have it not happen. Like you said, one meeting recently, somebody asked you if you were threatened, how you would respond. And you said this would probably fight for survival.
Yeah, probably. The body, it's programmed to survive.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't we need this separation to function? Isn't this just part and parcel of being human?
Right. But there already isn't separation. The individual, when you talked about death and the fear of death, it's actually the individual is an owner. It owns things. So when things arise, it says that belongs to me. And perception is one of those. And part of the ownership in this belonging to me is a sense of control. I'm in control. These are my senses. This is happening to me. This is my life. And the fear is to lose that happening to me, to loss of control of that. That's what the fear is.
And you're saying that's an illusion.
Absolutely. Yeah. There isn't anyone that dies. There isn't anyone that's born.
All right. I'll take that and run with it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Keith.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Keith.
Thanks for doing this. I think.
Yeah.
I don't really know where I'm headed with this. The first gentleman's stories and concepts kind of reminded me of how we thrive on our stories. And it seems like your message is the brick wall for the story. It's got to end. This is where it stops.
Yeah.
And I think a question I would have had is, I've spent many years kind of rooting for team awareness. I don't know how else to put that, because you go through all of these things as a seeker, and there seems to be an evolution, and I know we have to get rid of some of the non-dual speak here, but you know what I'm saying, that there's this point you reach where this seems to make sense. So the awareness story has been pretty compelling for a long time.
Yeah.
And I had seen you and Tony a couple of years ago and looked at it, and it didn't register for whatever reason, didn't make sense. And now I'm sitting here, it sure as hell still doesn't make sense, but there's something that resonates.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering what happened to awareness.
Yeah.
Because your message doesn't, well, I'm not quite sure what it does with awareness. If you can say that for me. I think I've heard you say there is no such thing, or...
That's right. There is no awareness, no
Okay.
consciousness, no awareness. That's part of the dream of separation.
Bummer. So there goes that
Not
story.
really. Not really. Because what we are talking about is unconditional freedom.
Sure.
So there's no limit to it. Consciousness would be a limit. It would depend upon being conscious, or awareness would be dependent upon awareness. Now, both of those things, as they appear, are unconditional freedom appearing as that. So it's not like they're right or wrong. It's just illusory.
And here's where I just have to nod and say thanks again. You know,
Thanks, Keith.
again, you hit the wall with the concepts.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of this message, is that the mind just finally, at some point, has to give up.
Yeah, if it does.
If it does.
Yeah.
I don't think it has yet.
No.
Okay.
When it does, it'll be this.
Okay.
It won't be a future this. It won't be another this. And it won't mean anything to you.
And that concept resonates. I mean, the conceptual aspect of what you're saying, I guess resonates is as good as I can go with.
Yeah.
That speaks to this right now.
Yeah.
So
well, when you say now, I'm sorry.
I know.
It's just there isn't a now, because there isn't another time. The revelation is there was never anywhere else. The experience is there's here and somewhere else. That's just part of the dream.
Sure.
This is absolutely everything.
Languaging this is difficult, especially with someone who has the appearance of being past that point of the conceptual restrictions. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Keith.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah.
I think.
I think. Oh.
Hi, Jim. It's Yaran from Sweden.
Hey.
Hey, nice
Hey,
to
man.
see you.
And you? No, you. Something happened. I can't hear you anymore. There you are.
Now I'm unmuted. Nice to
Yeah.
see you, Jim.
And you.
Yeah, you're well.
Good. Thanks. Yeah. Very well.
Yeah. Thanks for the meeting.
Yeah. Thanks.
I've been wondering, you're talking a lot about apparently, and I'm a Swedish, you know, apparently for a Swede, it's like I need to try to figure out the apparently. It's because I guess what we're talking about is this is it.
Yeah.
This is the conversation that are happening is the alpha and omega.
Yeah.
And all else that arises, like, I'm in Stockholm, I'm on vacation, and it's a story.
It's the alpha, but that's also the alpha and the omega appearing as a story.
So it's just like, but the person or the individual, is he like, he's just a story?
Yes.
Yeah. So if there were a person, then he would be here now, and I would like see him, or like, I feel him, or how would you say? You're talking about the contracted energy.
Yeah, the experience. It's. I guess the best way to talk about it is the experience that the I am moves through time in a real way.
Yeah, that's the illusion. Yeah.
That's the illusion. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I read somewhere that Ramana, he said that the time of realization will be here and now, and then when that is, then you will laugh, like I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And because if this is it, and this is it, then it's like it's useless to try to find something else than this, because it's already this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hopeless for the separate experience. It's a hopeless activity of trying to overcome separation that isn't already.
So would you say, because one of the guys earlier asked you to speak Spanish, so then I wonder if this message would be in Swedish, lagom.
Lagom. No,
No.
I don't think it would, because lagom means
Swedish.
perfect for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly the way I
But-
like it.
But you know, lagom is like perfect for everybody. If you're a
That's
Swede,
right.
lagom is
Yeah.
always good.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I guess the message is just ordinary.
Yeah. It's just sitting on a couch, having a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking on a computer screen or what is.
Yeah.
And it will never be better than this.
This isn't good.
It is good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But
Okay.
Good
Isn't
is
it
part
good
of the
or
dream.
not good? Is
No,
it
it's
not
neither good
or
nor not good. It's neither good or not good.
Is it just is?
Yeah.
Or is it? Yeah. So if
Without
it's-
understanding.
But would you say in the story about Jim, would you talk about like there been a seeker earlier in the story and like,
Yeah.
and I can see that the seeking energy is quite like an addiction, you know.
Yeah.
This will give me the next thing. If
Yeah.
I meditate, I do
Yeah.
this, and I.
Yeah.
In the story of Jim, have you experienced the same?
Oh, it is. Well, yeah, of course, that's the story. Every
Yeah.
story in that sense is the same. It's an addiction to knowing, an addiction to experience, an addiction to being,
Yeah.
existing.
Yeah. And would you say like pain, the psychological pain, is that I think there is a better time in the future than this?
That can be psychologically painful, but we're not talking about the end of psychological pain. We're talking about the end of the owner of psychological pain.
So everything could arise. Like,
yeah.
Pain or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect, Jim. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing this. Nice to see you.
And you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, Adam.
Yes. Hi, Jim.
Hi.
I just was wondering if you could comment on the suggestion which is being made in this message that a contracted sense of energy falls away, and also that would be nothing happening.
Yeah.
You know, and the paradox there, you know, that actually being nothing happening.
Yeah. That's all there is nothing happening.
Yeah, and yet the suggestion is being made that something apparently happens, which is a falling away of contracted energy. But it seems to have a significance.
Yeah, to the individual it does.
Okay.
To the individual, everything has significance.
Okay. Why is that part of the message if it has no significance?
Because it seems to happen.
So
just like there's no individual. There already isn't an individual, but we do talk about the experience of individuality. There is no separation already. There's no way to bring about the end of separation because it's already not happening. But we do talk about separation because there seems to be that experience.
But you know, the dropping away of the contracted sense of energy, or the contracted energy, would seem to be a condition for the losing the sense of separation. That feels like the beginning of ownership, like something that's gonna happen, right?
Yeah,
So-
but the individual lives in a world of real happening. And so when this says the contracted energy falls away, the individual necessarily sees that as a real happening, which it does or doesn't want for itself. And the message is nothing ever really happens.
So, and yet the sense of boundlessness, a sense of not being, I guess, limited by separation, would correspond with like just a sense that, you know, there's no limit to like the energy that maybe one feels in the body is not like separate from, like there's no boundary.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it like that with the energy someone feels in the body, because if there's someone feeling energy in the body, that will be separation.
Gotcha. So yeah, just energy, the feeling of energy in the body arises for no one.
Yeah, already.
Yeah, and that not being owned would be just the sense that, you know, this is already everything, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
All right.
Travis would be the next.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Jim.
There you are again.
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to phrase the question. You talk about everything is real and unreal.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, sometimes you've mentioned that it's unreal altogether.
The individual. Separation. Consciousness, awareness. Those are all unreal altogether.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because yeah, the I guess the question is that although the individual has a like a story that it creates of like a rock hitting the leg of the body and this and that and why it shouldn't have happened and this and that, and I see that as unreal, but ultimately I thought originally what I understood is that the whole thing wasn't real, and that was kind of that was kind of the question I had, is that it does seem like there's something happening, but the story we create about it isn't real.
Right. So in the way you're describing it, we could say there are two realities. There aren't, but we can say it. One is the dream world, of which the individual is the dream. The individual doesn't have a dream. The individual is a dream. So which the consequence is when that dream ends, nobody wakes up. So like the man we were talking about before, Jim didn't have a happening that revealed this is boundlessness. There was the end of the story. Nobody woke up to the revelation that there is only boundlessness. And then the second reality is the ordinary reality, and which is this, which is only apparent. So the first one's completely illusory, and the second one is an appearance, which means it's unsubstantial, insubstantial. There's nothing to hold on to.
What can you describe insubstantial? Like, what do you mean by insubstantial? Like, because like when I see my cat, for example, it appears there's just, you know, that it appears there's so much that was put into the cat being the way the cat is, you know, the way that it looks and the way that it senses and sees a bird, and so that still feels real here. It's like, wow, that's amazing, you know, it's incredible, but it's like I thought originally that some of your message was that even that is illusory. Ultimately.
The only illusion is that someone knows that.
Right. So what you're saying is that the individual that sees that and puts its perception and understanding into it, that's unreal, but is there still something happening, or?
Only apparently.
Yeah, that's the part that's the part that is tripping me out. Like,
Yeah.
it just,
Well, that's the whole point of it, because
incredible.
you can't hold on to it. That's the whole point.
Right.
The experience of separation is the experience of knowing, or the experience that I can hold on to something, which is why death is an issue. Because I have the experience that I already hold on to, or I know my perception, and that death threatens that. That's the illusion. Nobody can hold on to anything already.
Right. There isn't someone here trying to hold on to it, but it's like, it feels like there's someone here seeing it and it's going like, wow, that's incredible. Like, how could that be unreal? It looks like, a million years of evolution in process, and it's like, it's just,
but a million years of
beautiful.
evolution is just simply this appearing as a million years of evolution. There are no million years of evolution. Not really. It's just this appearing as a million years of evolution.
Yeah, that's the part I don't quite, I mean.
Yeah, totally.
I'm trying to get it. I understand.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know how to ask you further than that, because you're essentially saying that that's the experiences that I'm seeing from my perspective, that there's evolution put into this process, but it's I guess what it feels like is, it feels like kind of like you're saying that that's just happening, but I'm going, well, things don't just happen, because when a baby's born, it's clueless on what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I make this message makes no claims to logic or rationality. None.
I know. But no, I don't know. But I'm trying to word it right. So I don't even know what to say. Are you saying that experience in time, like evolution and things, you're saying that is an illusion?
Yeah.
Like process?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, see, I don't understand that exactly, because why would it appear that there's, like, I go back to the baby example. If there's a newborn baby that doesn't know anything because it's just born, but I guess its intellect, its instincts will kick in when it's a little older and things, and then
the need to understand arises out of the experience that something needs to happen. And all that the individual has at its disposal is knowing or experience. And so it tries through knowing or experience to find what it feels it needs, which is what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to work this out. And really, this can't be worked out. And there's no need for it. There's no need to know what this is. That's just part of the illusory experience of separation.
Right. Yeah. I'm almost done here. I just want to go back. Like, so you're saying that, are you saying that you don't think that like evolution is even real?
Well, like, nothing is real.
Like the world. Yeah. Can you explain to me what you mean by nothing is real? Like
that it's insubstantial. We're going around in circles. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Nothing is real is just saying that the appearance is everything. There's nothing in it. There's nothing behind it. It's not coming from anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It has no meaning and purpose and no intention.
So it's a
which are
yeah,
all part of
so
the experience of separation, which gives the experience that what's happening is real, that it has all of that in it.
but simultaneously, if the one perceiving is unreal, if that perception is unreal, it also couldn't say that that reality is unreal altogether, could it? Or I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
Well, this isn't saying, first off, this isn't saying there is a reality. This is saying that the appearance is neither real nor unreal. It's ungraspable. And that the perception of it, when it's owned by an individual, is that it's real and needs to be explained, needs to be understood, needs to be worked out.
Yeah. Maybe there's an underlying, like, even because to me it feels more of just like a, it's not really a question, but it's just like a, oh wow, you know, like wow feeling, and not so much like I need it answered, but it's like, wow, how could it not be, you know, how could it not be real? And I guess that's the part that I guess it kind of feels like, if it feels like I'm like a, you know, like I get let down when somebody says no, it's all really unreal.
Actually, Travis, we really don't understand you. Travis, we really don't understand you. You're scrambling. That's a bit uncomfortable. Your voice, your connection, and just that you know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm on my cell phone. Sorry about that, guys. But no, I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, man.
You have a good day.
You too. Two 5192 Solomon or so, isn't it?
Yeah, you remember, right?
I remember.
Okay.
Actually, can I say something? I sent you a message before, and you already asked a question today, and you never answered, and I wasn't sure. And we have so many hands up.
Okay, it's okay. I can wait.
No, or just quick. Sorry. No.
Okay. I'll try to be quick. Okay.
That's all right. Go for it, Solomon.
Okay. You said there is no one looking behind the eyes in the morning.
Yeah. No, ever. There is no one. There's just seeing or hearing. And that's no thing, seeing or hearing.
Okay, so I'm just a character, right?
There is no you.
Whatever I say.
There is no I am.
Okay, so so what's the point of all this then?
Nothing. It's unconditional freedom already. It has no point and no need for one. Oh. What do you think of that, huh?
It's nice. It's amazing, yeah. But you know, then if there is no one behind the laughter, if there is no one behind the sadness,
no.
Okay, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it is actually.
So what do I have to do?
There isn't anyone. There isn't anyone, and nothing needs to happen. It's already so. Nothing needs to happen.
So why are we having this conversation then?
We aren't. It's just happening.
Okay. But is there any other way, you know, to, you say the contraction is mainly in the body, right?
Yeah.
It's an energy contraction.
Yeah.
So could there be other way like yoga or?
Well, as we've just discovered, this is already unconditionally free. So what would need to happen to make it unconditionally free?
Okay, so, but in yoga, they assume first there is an individual, even if it is not real. They will assume, and if in yoga, in yogic
in yoga, yeah, but yoga is a teaching. This isn't a teaching.
Yes, but their teaching is through time.
I understand. They think time is real.
Yeah.
And when time is real and you have a teaching, what you get is personal enlightenment. That's the idea, because it depends upon you doing something, which means this isn't unconditionally free already. It depends upon you doing something for this to be unconditionally free. That's a dream.
Yes,
that's an illusion.
Yes, but you try until the individual drops away. You know, like the Buddha has
but nobody does that. Nobody does that.
Okay, okay, so yeah, it's just all about living then, right?
I can't hear you.
It's just all about hearing, living.
It's just about hearing. It's not about anything. This isn't about anything. The entire appearance has no purpose, meaning, or intention. It's already unconditionally free. It's not waiting. It is already.
Okay. So that is mean every appearance is just nothing, like people suffer, like there is pain, there is sickness.
Yeah.
It's just nothing. That's just nothing, right?
That's just nothing, paining and sickening.
Okay. Good news is it. I'm loving this.
Same here.
Okay. Rita has said to make it short, so I will leave.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Jory.
Hi, Jim. Well, it feels like I just talked with you a month ago. I'm becoming like a regular on these things.
Uh-oh, it's all downhill from here.
I know it is. But it's like a moth to the flame. I swear.
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
So anyway, I mean, it's been inspiring to me, and I had this experience that was really like, oh shit. It's like, in a way, I'm kind of done, you know? It's like I go on these hikes, and I've been going on this hike since the whole COVID thing happened. It's this particular hike that I just started loving, and there was this tree, and I started like touching this particular tree, and oh my God, you're freezing. Am I freezing?
No.
Huh?
No, you're not freezing. You're not freezing.
Oh,
you're
okay,
good.
okay. So
Sweet, do you want to turn off your camera?
Yeah, so it's like I would touch this tree, and I would touch this tree a certain way, and I would feel this just beautiful feeling. And so then this last week, I went over there and I touched the tree, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is a tree. And I realized, well, this could be any flippin' tree.
Yeah.
You know, and then I thought, you know, I have these rocks, and I love rocks. And like, I have this rock here, it's like kind of shaped like a heart. And I go like, well, what if I touch that rock, you know? And I'm like, oh shit, the damn rock is giving me the same feeling.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, well, it's like everything, there was nothing special about that tree. There's nothing special about that hike.
Yeah.
You know? And I didn't even have to go on that hike. But I mean, I love going on the hike.
You didn't actually.
Oh, well.
Hiking happened.
Well, that part I don't get.
No, nobody does.
But there's something about like in a way, like nothing really matters, but everything matters at the same time.
No.
Huh? No?
No. Nothing matters and nothing matters.
Nothing matters and nothing matters.
Yeah.
So So like what's happening with me with like, it doesn't matter what tree, it doesn't matter what
nothing
rock.
matters.
Huh?
Exactly, but that's what's being recognized there is nothing matters.
But there's a beautiful experience there.
Yeah, I would question the word experience, but absolutely. Nothing mattering is unconditional love.
Yeah. So then the rest of all this is just like a lot of talk almost.
Totally.
Like,
absolutely. There's nothing to say. It's done already.
Okay. But like yesterday, I was like doing my taxes. I was not having this experience.
Yeah. It's still unconditional love doing its taxes. Even the IRS is unconditional love appearing as the IRS.
All right. So, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I'll be here next time. Maybe not. I don't know.
You're already not there.
In a way, it's sort of bizarre. I mean, but it's
lovely to see you.
It's nice. Yeah, it's great to see you too. So I think that's it for now.
Thanks, man.
Cheers and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Keith.
Hey, Keith. Yep, you're on, man.
All right.
Mr. Oxford, Mississippi.
Howdy toddy.
Howdy toddy. Gosh almighty, who the hell are we?
Hell are we? Flim, flam, bim, bam.
Bim, bam, Ole Miss, by damn.
Damn. And it doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But it didn't then either.
No, it doesn't now. It doesn't mean
it doesn't
now.
Mean, no.
No. You know, it's funny. When I saw you were going to do this, and I completely forgot. And then it popped up, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. I've got to go and hear about nothing.
Yeah.
And because all the other teaching, all the other non-dualistic teaching, it's all fine. It's all fine. But what this message seems to do is to say, it's this.
Yeah.
It's this. And there's nothing else. There's really nothing else to even talk about.
Yeah.
And when, like, I'll wake up in the mornings, or waking happens.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And when I feel a sense of gratefulness, when I first wake up, I know that nothing's happening because the individual is experiencing something, apparently. But when you know that nothing matters, or when you don't know it, but when you intuit that nothing matters,
yeah,
there's a great sense of just,
yeah,
and the closest thing to this teaching that I've ever found that uses dualistic ideas to try to express it is that dude Robert Adams. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I read some of his stuff, and when you and Tony say nothing matters, you're saying it differently than everybody else, or it's coming out differently than everybody else. Because if there is no other, and if there is no not now, because there is no now, because there's no not now.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So here I am. I'm driving my van down Jackson Avenue, which you've driven down many times.
Yeah.
And nothing's happening.
No.
And so I'm just calling to say hello.
Oh, great. Hey, thanks, man. Lovely.
Man,
lovely.
I'm just calling to say hello. I love your wife's Instagram stuff. Beautiful. So just love you. I just love you. I love you and love you. I'm just thankful for you saying this message, or you know what I mean, for this message, because when you really start to feel that nothing matters, there's something starts to open. Something starts to unconditional love and kindness and humility and compassion that starts to be and to grow.
And that's what's happening there. Yeah.
And that's because the anxiety that we all deal with constantly, just constant anxiety in the chest, and that feeling of the throat closing up sometimes, because you're really, when you practice self-inquiry so fucking much, it's really good to find out that nothing matters. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. Just fucking amazing, And But anyway, hey, I'm gonna keep up. I know other people want to talk. I love you and thank you.
Love you too, Keith. Thanks, man.
See you, brother.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Arif.
Hi. You doing good? Enjoying the summer?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it was a bit hot the last week, so I really, that was the time when I really wished that I wasn't there, and then I had to remind myself I'm not really there. But better now. Yes. I think a question that I felt was very strong, or that sort of arose by itself. I was holding on to it, and then Keith started to speak just a moment ago, and something started to dissolve. So I had to very strongly and actively pull myself back and focus on the question, substantiate it. I think I'll try and give it a go. So I from what I heard you speak, as you know, some strange stuff of being on one side and the other side of the threshold keeps happening to me since past months. So what I'm hearing you speak, and I guess that's the part that's starting to dissolve. But listening to Keith and yourself just a moment ago is so. Things having substance. I mean, the feelings of substantiality, whether it's physical or otherwise, or process, or the sense of time, or sense of movement, or change. All these are contingent on the sense of separation, which is a dream. Fuck.
Well, that was concise. Yeah.
I guess I there's nothing to worry about the summer heat anymore. It's not there, so it doesn't matter. Take care, man, and hope you have a good time. And you're having a retreat, is it? The coming weeks. Are there?
In the Alps.
Are there? Wow, great. I don't know if I can join for that, but are there plans for the sort of meetings we used to have on the week?
Somebody's going to have to find us a place, because we've given up our office. So we're waiting for a place. If there's a place, we'll do it.
Great. I hope that works out soon.
Yeah, great.
To meet you and Rita, and face to face. Take care, man. Thank you very much.
You too. Thanks. And I just want to say something about the guy before. I mean, I understood what he was talking about and all of that, Keith, but he did call it a teaching. And it just has to come out that this is just not a teaching. This isn't to anyone, and there's nothing to learn from this. This isn't about changing anything or becoming or any sort of intention. So it's not a teaching. It's just a message or a suggestion or sharing. Yeah. Without intention. It's a response. good. Who's next? Petra. Hey, Petra.
Hi, Jim. I don't really have a question. I just want to say hi and thank you so much for all your videos, and it's so relaxing to listen. And after years of seeking, now it's so good that there is no one. There's nothing. There's nothing to do. I'm just love you and love the message. It's just wonderful. Oh.
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Adam, you're up.
Yes. Hi, Jim.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, again. Yeah, just toward the end of our last conversation, after we stopped, it kind of occurred to me that maybe I needed a clarification. I tend to associate the apparent dropping away of contracted energy with something with a feeling, with a sensation in the body.
Yeah.
I actually heard you actually say that it was maybe connected with that, but also
a sensation in the body. Totally. Yeah. There's definitely, it definitely falls away. It definitely goes whoop, weg.
Okay. Okay. So it is a feeling, something like.
Well, that it seems that's a seeming happening. Yeah.
Okay. You know, as this message percolates deeper and deeper, and I guess just glimpses, happen. There are, feelings of, cramps in the body, energetic sort of shifts in the body, which have been happening for years. And so, now there's an expectation that, one time it'd be seen so grandly that, like no tension in the body anymore. And I don't think that's what you're saying, because tension must arise when a bad driver passes, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I think one misunderstanding might be that that falling away is a part of a continuum, and it's not.
Yeah,
so there's nothing held here that refers to that apparent happening.
Okay. Is that the same as saying that it kind of would happen for no reason, spontaneous?
Well, it doesn't really happen, is what it's saying.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll sit with that. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Hey, Anton. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah. So, hello? Yes, okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, it's okay now? Hello?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello? It's fine? It's working?
Yes,
hello?
I hear you.
Hello?
Jim is a little bit set up, but I hear you.
Me? Hello. Hello.
Jim, you are very your thing doesn't work. Anton works. It's Jim who is having the problem. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, it's working? Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you when you talk. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, who are we talking to?
This is Vipula from Sri Lanka.
Hey there.
I spoke to
Sri
you.
Lanka, wow.
Yeah. I spoke to you in the previous session as well.
Yep.
In fact, I raised my hand because there was no one else asking you any questions. So I thought maybe, I'll share a few comments. The other day, I watched your interview with Sam Harris.
Yeah.
And I must tell you that was the most enlightening the interview, because I mean, two different worlds are being I'll tell you, Jim, it was hilarious because at the same time I appreciate, because you didn't want to compromise because there's no point in doing so.
No, there's no way to cut the message. Just doesn't compromise.
Yeah. Then you say at the very beginning in most of your sessions like this, there's nothing on offer. I mean, there's nothing for you. I mean, you clearly see it, right?
I know.
On the one hand, yes, you are being very honest, about this. But at the same time, the number of people, because I have been working for some time, maybe a few years, the number of people who are wanting to hear your message is also increasing. I mean, it's like a paradox, it also shows that people have been going from one master to another and another, and you're looking for some.
Yeah.
Then finally end up somewhere here. And so it's not really a question, Jim. All what I'm saying is that this paradox is going to trouble you a little bit, because every time, I mean, this earlier session, I saw there was one person who was raising certain things about the worldly affairs, and asking, is it really happening? I mean, how can you possibly answer, So it's So I mean, just to end this thing, it's a repetition of a question. So this what is, and the appearance, and the sense of self, it's what shall I say? It's not what anyone thinks what it is, right?
No.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah. So thanks, Jim. I appreciate that you are like, you're doing a mission impossible. Yes.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks.
Thanks. And just because it's been said so often, it's not my message. This doesn't come from anyone. It's the same as everything else. It's no thing speaking. So it doesn't belong to anyone. There's no authority here. There's no specialness. Nothing's been achieved and nothing can be shared. It's just simply a response to an illusory experience of separation, and it's not personal.
Hey, Jim. Me again.
Hey, me again.
Yeah, Adam. Sorry, that was poor choice of words.
No, it's all right. I'm just playing. It's good.
I'll just put this out there, I guess. I was kind of, really trying to focus on, this experience of choice, of being a chooser, and really, focused on that. And the question arose, who could choose that? And it was sort of see that it has to already be what is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can't, the sort of the basis of reality can't be a choice, So don't really have a question.
No, thanks. Just an insight. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Hey there, Saeed.
Saeed, yeah.
Yeah.
just another sharing word, because I want to probably contemplate on what you will say, or because apparent, I would say apparent because I'm going to use individual. Apparently, what he's expecting that he will realize, but that realization would also be this ordinary already what's happening. The real what is expecting to be realized would also be what's happening.
Yes, absolutely. There is only what's happening. Absolutely. Yeah.
So this is already what's happening, and
yeah,
in that sense, it's already like it's already what's happening, but you can't capture what's happening because
totally.
It's already like it's already gone. It's already past.
Well, capturing it is also what's happening. There's no outside of it, and it doesn't exclude anything either. So even the effort to contain it or hold it is just what's happening. It has no effect. There is only what's happening.
But in sense of realization, the what's happening, that's already what's happening.
Yeah. So you can't realize it. Realizing it is something else. It's
you
not
can't,
this.
because you kind of, there's no door, but in a sense, you already gone through the door because what's happening is already happened.
There's no door. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the revelation. That's the end of the contracted energy. There was nothing that needed to happen.
Yeah, in that sense, there's nothing, like you were saying, there's nothing happened because it's already what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I get all that, but I know I'm gonna start contemplating again.
Yeah, that's all right. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no right or wrong. The message is you can't get further away from what's wanted, what's truly wanted. You can't get closer or further away. The whole experience of something needing to happen is part of an illusion. There is only unconditional love. There is only unconditional freedom. That is all there is. And that never changes. It's just simply that. And everything that arises, trying, not trying, having the experience of being separate, having that contracted energy fall away, all of that is just simply what is. So nothing ever really happens.
Yeah.
So there's no way to become what is, because there is only what is.
Yes. You can never like see it. It's never graspable. It's
never.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Hey, Travis.
Hey, can you hear me now?
No. It's the same, man.
Oh.
Try putting your phone up somewhere else or something. See if it gets better connection somewhere.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
That's much better. Now I don't hear anything. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So if
no, man, it's not working.
An individual.
Yeah, there isn't an individual. Yeah.
Then there's nobody that can say that it's ultimately unreal either.
Totally.
So it's just what appears.
Yes.
So there could be something happening.
No.
So I guess what I'm saying is to come to a conclusion that ultimately
Can't do
nothing
it.
is actually happening.
Can't come to a conclusion. That's not a conclusion.
It seems like a conclusion that
because the individual
nothing's
always
happening.
lands because the individual always lands on is or isn't. It always lands on is or isn't. The individual can't conceive of is and isn't, which is all there is. There's no doubt, but there's no certainty.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that you're sounding like you come to the ultimate conclusion that nothing is totally real.
Exactly. I understand that's how it sounds.
So it sounds, yeah. Well, no, it's not how it sounds. That's what's happening.
No, but you're saying it's a conclusion.
Yeah, you're coming to a conclusion that
No, a conclusion would be saying what is. I'm saying what's not. The suggestion is what's not. And what's not can be fairly clearly seen. What is can't be seen, can't be known, is unknowing itself. So a conclusion about the appearance, there isn't a conclusion. But there is a definite recognition that certain things aren't real.
Right. I mean, that's the experience here, is that ultimate reality isn't what it appears to be to the individual, but it still appears that something's happening. It still appears there's energy. You get hit with a rock in the leg. There's pain.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that ultimate that conclusion that it seems like you point to doesn't seem like it's a full understanding. It feels like, I mean, Tony says that there's energy and this and that, and it just sounds like you're kind of denying even the energy thing of like that's what that's what I was asking earlier.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem to come out, the word energy. Just don't use it much. In conversation it comes out, but that doesn't seem to come up here.
That it can't be. I guess it just can't be understood. I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I think it can actually. It's just not the reality of it. The concepts are relatively simple, seems to me. There is no individual, and this is no thing happening. That's fairly straightforward. It can be understood. It's just the understanding isn't the reality of it.
Right. Yeah. I thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you, man. Yeah, same here.
Have a good day.
You too. And thank everybody else. Thank you all for joining. That was just lovely. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. And see you all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thanks, guys.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Bye,
Bye.
Tim.
Bye-bye.